Catholic schools have it all. This is the new campaign that the Diocese of Trenton, our diocese, has just launched to celebrate and promote the good news about our Catholic schools. Hi, I'm Monsignor Walter Nolan. Welcome to our Catholic Corner. My guests today are members of the planning committee for this campaign. Rayanne Bennett is the executive director of communications for our diocese. Rayanne has been in Catholic communication as a professional for over 25 years. Never know it. God bless you, honey. God love you. She's been with our diocese for about 10 years. In her current role, Rayanne has the responsibility for all of the communications and the operations of our diocese, media and public relations, the Monitor, radio and television, which produces our Catholic Corner, and several other programs, our websites, social media, and our Spanish language outreach. She also serves as the spokesperson for the diocese and is usually the one who is quoted in our media on our behalf. And bless you, and thank you so much for all of that you do, Rayanne. God love you. Donna Davidson is the Associate Director of School Services in the Diocese of Trenton, Department of Catholic Schools. Donna's been working with our diocese since October, I think, 2002.
Correct.
And she started in a newly created position as Athletic Commissioner for the elementary schools and our parish CYO programs. I remember when you were appointed that, I said, oh boy, we have a commissioner. Terrific. In 2006, she was transferred into the Department of Catholic Schools to assist with the mergers of the Burlington and Monmouth schools to create the regional schools in those counties. As Associate Director of School Services, Donna oversees several of the non-academic areas involving Catholic schools, such as government programs, consolidated purchasing, marketing, school boards, and of course, athletics. Welcome, both of you, to the Catholic Corner.
Thank you.
God, it's so great to have you. You know what's funny? I mentioned before, I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden, I see this marvelous, marvelous billboard. I said, oh, it's terrific. Tell us about the campaign. Catholic schools have it all. What a great jump out words for you, huh? How was it created? Who started it?
Well, I can let you know that it was Bishop David O'Connell's concept.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
He came up with the theme.
Terrific.
Bishop has given his life to Catholic education,
Right.
and he has worked very hard since he came to the Diocese of Trenton to promote Catholic schools and build sustainability. He felt that the time had come to really focus on getting that good news out there about what a rare gift it is and how much we all have to work to support it. And so a committee came together, and Donna has been wonderful as the representative of the Department of Catholic Schools, and a lot of our communications folks have been working on it. So it's been a couple of months in planning, but it's a very quick thing we're putting together just to try and get the word out there.
Well, it certainly was eye-catching. I mentioned to Donna before when I first saw it. I said, oh my God, Cardinal Fulton Sheen's back on the billboard. But it's our own bishop, and it was
yeah.
marvelous. It's a wonderful billboard. We talk about good news. Do you think there was not enough good news shared about our beautiful Catholic school system?
I think sometimes we get so engrossed that we forget to share the good news. We've often been referred to as the best kept secret in the community or in the town, and I think it's just a great way through pictures, even more so than words, to be able to have people see what's going on every day, all day long in our schools.
Do you know, I would, and I want you to add on to that too, Rayanne. I would champion that 100%. I don't know whether it's the way, and I'm talking about from my age group now maybe, but we kind of just grew up, kind of doing our work, being proud of who we were, but in a humble way. We never kind of say, look what we do,
Exactly.
And yet, not that we should do that, but we, our Catholic faith is a beautiful Catholic faith that does so much, and education is. I'm a kid who grew up in the whole works, and I'll be proud forever and ever. Rayanne, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think you're right. It is very much generational, and in our day and age, when everyone is talking out there are a million platforms for people to be talking from. It's very important that we are not quiet about the wonderful things that our Catholic schools do. You know, very often the thing that grabs the headlines is perhaps not such a positive story if a Catholic school does have to close, which thankfully has been very rare in our diocese. But, you know, what about those other schools, the vast majority of the schools where just, you know, grace is happening every day and they're not getting headlines. And so we have to, you know, stop allowing negative things to be the loudest voice at the table and really put out there the truth that is what, you know, our Catholic schools have going on every day.
And you know, maybe back in my generation, just because the way life was, everything happened around the parish and around the school. I mean, and you were commissioner of sports, you know. I mean, really, back then, you know, even in grammar school, you want to play basketball. You know, the Catholic school,
CYO
you want to play
program, yep.
football. The Catholic, you know, you want to be in the play. You know, the whole thing, and that's maybe where the attention was just focused because so much was happening just naturally about it all. Good news. Tell me about what do you think is the good news about Catholic schools?
I think we've got so much going on with so many different areas. When I talk with the marketing reps, I like to say to them, just focus on facts. What do I mean? Faith, activities, curriculum, technology, service, it's all right there. We're providing this from pre-K3 all the way up through 12th grade. And what an opportunity for those habits to be formed so that these people do become a contributing member in society and in the church itself. So there's so many opportunities, so many exciting things going on in each of those individual areas.
And you know, I think Bishop's theme actually lays it all out there. You know, Catholic schools have it all, and he specifies faith, academics, athletics, service, community. I mean, it's all right there in one experience. It's a complete education of our children that's centered on Christ. And really, the good news is that there is no other place to get it but there, where they're getting, you know, prayer every day, mass regularly, religious education as part of their educational experience, while still being top-notch in academics and, you know, very competitive in athletics. And you see them out there in the community helping out and reaching out to people in need. This is something that it's unique in our world today, and we have to really hold that up as one of the best facts about Catholic education.
You know, I'm thinking just the way you're talking about, this goes back a few years when I was still at St. Paul's in Princeton. And to kind of show how it all comes together, it was right after Passion Palm Sunday. And I'll say one of the teachers, I happened to be part of, I guess, the English program, to write something, and she had them write as if they were writing for a newspaper back then at the time of Jesus. I tell you, I was just flabbergasted at how the students wrote and what they wrote about as if they made themselves and part of that whole experience of Jesus coming into Jerusalem. And you know, that's the good news.
Yeah,
It all gets incorporated
That's right.
into a moral viewpoint, which is so beautiful.
It's
Oh
an
my God.
immersion experience,
Yeah,
really.
that's
Yep.
so okay. So you have billboards. I know that, and some posters. And they'll be what in our churches and
In all of the parishes, and I have one hanging in my office that people stop and admire.
and are you having a website?
Yes, there'll
Okay.
be, you know, it really is centered very much on the website, which will be dedicated to the theme and to pushing out on a regular basis some of the late breaking news, good information that we're getting, testimony from priests, teachers, principals, parents. We're really looking to have this be a place where folks can come back regularly and visit and learn more. We're also in the process of putting together a video that is based on a message from our bishop, and also brings in these interviews that our Department of Radio and Television is out there getting, you know, talking to all kinds of people with wonderful stories to share. So all of that's kind of working together. It's a multimedia campaign, and it's a couple of months in development. It's not quite fully there yet, but we're working very quickly to get it up and running.
So who are you trying to reach? Everybody? Children,
I
parents,
wouldn't say we're
grandparents?
trying to reach everybody, but certainly the students, particularly the older students, they have some say in the decision-making process. We're looking to reach potential families that may not be aware of us, that aren't familiar with us. And I think another great benefit is we are also reinforcing existing families. You know, the decision that they made to send their children to school was the correct decision. And that's being reinforced every time they visit the website, they see the billboard. So I think it's several different areas that we're attempting to reach out to.
And to add to that, Monsignor, is that one other thing it does, and we're hoping to reach, is just the general Catholic population, because there are so many ways that every Catholic can be a supporter of Catholic education, even if they don't even have children. Whether their parish has a school or the school is 3 miles up the road with another parish, every Catholic has a role to play in trying to advance and preserve this rare gift of the Church.
You know, I just happened to be a part of a parish yesterday, hearing confessions for the confirmation children. And one of the thoughts that I had recently that I was sharing with the youngsters is that, you know, we're all sent. You know, like he sent Peter and James and John. And, you know, I said, you know, to the children, even now you're sent. You know, that's the part of this great gift of ours, that the Lord needs us, and he sends you into your ball games or into your plays or into your, and then later on I said, you know, and you're going to be sent even to greater things. And that's what I'm hearing you say, both of you, that's the message, that we're all part of this discipleship, and to be involved, and to realize that we're sent. Who else worked with you on the campaign to put the project together?
Go ahead.
Well, I think you know, Donna can speak to the amazing response that we got from the schools, who connected us with different people to actually be in the videos and such. But I will say briefly, you know, we've had a lot of support from a design perspective, from social media, from website, and from the Catholic Schools Office. But Donna, I'll let you tell about all the people who've really stepped up to this.
We really had a number of people that stepped up, and stepped up quickly. From the sports arena, this was a fast break like I've never seen. I mean, we put this whole thing together very, very quickly. We had pastors that stepped forward to speak about the impact that Catholic schools have on their ministry, on their parish, on whatever. Principals, teachers, parents, grandparents, legacy parents. We had one parent that their family has had a child in our school every year since that school opened. And to be able to tell that story, and how there would be no other place that they would have their children educated. Coaches, we've had coaches involved, some volunteer coaches, some Raider coaches. Everybody just really, really stepped up to speak to a couple of parishioners that didn't necessarily have direct association with anyone in the school, that spoke about the impact of their school. So it was marvelous to see the number of people that basically raised their hand and said, yes, I will.
You know, when I talk like this, the stories pop in my head, so you got to forgive me.
Yeah,
but when
great.
you're talking about coaches, I remember now going back a few years when I was a little more involved in some of the schools. We had lost one of the state games in a particular sport, and of course the students were down a little bit. I'll never forget the coach, after gathered the students, and I was there, and he said, gentlemen, he said, we always prayed and thanked God every time we won. He said, kneel down, and we're going to pray and thank God, even though we lost this game, that he gave us the ability to share what we have and to be good young men grow. That's the kind of thing, you know, that I'm hearing you saying. Hopes, goals for this campaign?
Well, I think, you know, kind of hitting again as to who we're trying to reach, we'd love to see enrollment grow. We'd love to see retention between, you know, certain grades, when parents sometimes have the temptation to go to a public school, to actually stay in their Catholic school, as Donna said, reaffirming their decision all the time to stay there. And we'd like to see more support generally from the general Catholic population, whether it be, you know, just phoning to see what the school needs, reaching out if you're an alumni, trying to get connected with your school. These are things, they won't be one particular statistic. It'll be, we're hoping, kind of a groundswell.
A lot of different things.
Of a lot of things.
Just to have people give it a second thought, to call and make an appointment to visit some of our schools. I'm convinced, as are so many of our principals, all of our principals, that step inside and see what's going on. It will be hard to
Donna
not.
Rayanne, I'm convinced of this, and I don't think I'm wrong. Folks that I've known associated with, they have priorities. And one of, I think, their priorities is education. I think people generally want to help young folks growing up because somebody helped us, at some time in our life, maybe in a little different way. But I think education, the value of education, of good education, and I hear you saying that it's not just, our faith, it's putting our faith into quality education. I think there's a lot of people out there that are willing and hopefully ready to help you all to share that great vision. And because I do think education is so important in all of our families and all of our lives, for our church and for this great country of ours. You mentioned that a lot of folks went out and told stories and were sharing their stories. I think you have a video of that. Maybe let's stop a little bit now. We'll take a look at the video and share a couple of stories and continue our marvelous conversation.
We know that Catholic schools require sacrifice on the part of parents and families. That sacrifice, however, is not without purpose. It is an investment in the future of our Catholic children, our Catholic families, and our Catholic Church.
Catholic schools are extremely important in the life of the church. The more these kids are involved in the ideas and principles of their faith, the more likely, again, it gets rooted and grounded within them. And I think, again, that's the future of the church, is Catholic education. Having it integrated throughout their whole entire educational experience. And it's not just in the classroom.
Every time I see an athlete, boy or girl, reach out to an opponent to help him or her up, to give a pat on the back, to pray together, as we often do now before games or after games, I see Christ. And that's where we see the fulfillment of Christ and the virtues that come from the Catholic school and our sports programs actually put out and manifested on the playing fields.
It's our faculty, it's our staff, it's our parents and our children. We're transformed. We're transformed because everything we do through the lens of our faith. That is the essence of Catholic education.
We recently played against one of our Trenton diocesan teams, and the broadcaster there had everyone stand up and join the two teams who were kneeling in the middle of the football field in the Lord's Prayer. And it was probably 4,000 people at the game. It was one of the most powerful things I ever saw.
I believe in that what I teach has such great value that it sort of outweighed the idea of the lifestyle it would give me from that perspective. Now, I've been told since I started that I need to, eventually get onto a public school. When I got older, I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it because, again, I needed to support the family. It became more important. But what we did is we found another way. My wife and I opened a business in the summer, and that has allowed us to balance it out pretty well so I can continue to stay here. But I'm not gonna say it wasn't a challenge. It was definitely a challenge, but I think, that's the whole thing about life. Things that have value they have challenges too.
In my situation, I did leave Wall Street and I came to Catholic education because I feel it was a calling. My husband and I prayed over it and we really came to the decision that this is where I belong. Giving up the finances was hard because, yes, you do have to make sacrifices. We have sacrificed vacations, we've sacrificed cars, we've sacrificed a lot of the extras. In the end, it's been totally worth it. I feel I'm a better person. My husband feels he's a better person. I'm hoping that I'm making the kids better people.
We've welcomed our children into the Catholic Church at baptism. We've brought them to confession and Holy Communion. We've encouraged them to receive the sacrament of confirmation. Think of the world in which they live and where they will grow. Now picture them in Catholic schools and imagine as a result how different their world, our world, will be.
He always seems to know how to say the right thing or end with the right words. Just you can imagine, the input that I guess our education system has already had, in this country and the world, and where it can still go. Any other stories that you remember yourself? I mean, that's so marvelous when people just tell their life story, and I could tell my life story here through Catholic education, but we don't have that kind of time. Tell me a little bit. What are some of the misconceptions that people might have about parents that might be considering sending their children to a Catholic school?
You know, I think Donna would agree that there are misconceptions. I mean, there are people who think that everything is just focused on faith, that we don't have a big focus on academics, or that we may not be as wired technologically. And I think any visit to one of the Catholic schools would quickly dispel these thoughts. But I think more importantly than the misconceptions is a lack of awareness. I don't think anyone's really sufficiently invited people to learn more about the schools, and that's what we're trying to do here. So it's not so much a misconception as it is making sure that we're pushing out the information that people need.
I agree. I think, 10, 20 years ago, we were fighting the misconceptions. But I think for the most part, they're behind us. It's just a matter of people not equating what's going on a daily basis.
And people are certainly welcome now, right? You even have some programs where you invite people in to just tour the place, just tour a school, and just to see what's going on.
Absolutely.
Tell me, what do you think are some of the greatest advantages that students have who have attended Catholic school?
I think it's a great setting for developing faith habits that will be with you all of your life. I mean, we've heard that the habits you develop at a young age are the habits that you carry with you. Imagine being 3 years old and just expecting that you're going to start the day with prayer, that you're going to pray, say grace before lunch, that you're going to pray at the end of the day, for thanking God for a safe day and a safe trip home, a good evening, and then a return. Just the way that we're able to integrate that, as well as provide some of the advanced AP classes, some of the science labs, some of the STEM programs that we have, and STEM is a big buzzword now. It's science, technology, engineering, and math. Some people make it science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We in the Catholic schools can make it STREAM. Science, technology, religion, engineering, arts, and math. And that is the total package, and that's the opportunity that we've had. We had about 1,360 high school graduates this past year. 145 million in scholarship was awarded. So the academics are there. The athletics are there. We've seen the awards in that. We saw Coach Duddy on the video. We are the first diocese in the United States to take the Catholic Athletes for Christ program and plug it in at the high school level. And our dream is to bring it down to the elementary level in time, so that
Keep dreaming that.
I'm dreaming.
Keep dreaming that, because that's where it's got to be.
Yep.
And I think the other great advantage that I see is that as the youngsters, mature, they go places maybe, and they're going to visit and meet people from other whatever, and for them to be able to say, they know what our Christ has offered us. They know what our faith has given us, that we are a family, and we are a people that live a moral, perception of life, and that sometimes when people say to them, well, why they will have, the reasonableness of the offering of the goodness and the compassion and the blessings that I think we all need in the world. The world certainly needs. On the website, Bishop O'Connell states that Catholic schools are very Catholic business and every Catholic business and responsibility. Want to add on to that a little bit?
Well, I think that is, again, what we were saying, that this isn't just about where you'll put your child in school. It's a rare resource. It's a wonderful resource for the church. It's essential. It helped to build the church as it is today with God's grace. So I think that's it. And, I just want to say that a lot of this and a lot more is on our website, which is livecatholicschools.org. And, one of the perspectives that wasn't in the video clip we showed was that of pastors. We have Every perspective covered, and we really do invite people to go there and visit it.
Well, we certainly hope they do so, because Catholic schools are vital to our church, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What can people do? I mean, I think we haven't spent a little bit of time, but one of the I guess difficulties, if that's the right word for me to say, certainly economics is part of some of the decision making. So what can people do to help you?
Well, again, I think get informed. Visit a school near you. If your parish has a school, become active in supporting it. Recognize the impact that school has on the parish community.
One of the things that I think at St. Paul's in Princeton we started was like an angels participation where people can, and it wasn't just a group of people that came to give a few dollars, although a few dollars helps, we all know that. But part of that was also prayer, and part of that was like during the year getting together, celebrating the Eucharist together, celebrating prayer together, realizing that faith is informed, and faith is just an ongoing gift of ours that we're all challenged to not only receive, but every good gift is to be given back. Rayanne, Donna, thank you. God love you. Please dream, put the dreams into action, and love you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Monsignor.
Catholic Corner. For more information, go to CatholicSchoolsHaveItAll.org. Please be involved. We pray for you. Pray for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
We need a claim number?
When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving. We're here to help.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Then, we went on Thundershark 3 times.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.